Good evening and welcome to Tuesdays We Are Leeds. Making the headlines at Ellen Road and Thorpe Arch tonight. Howe's move, departing skipper Johnny Howson talks exclusively to LUTV. Boys beaten, United's second string secure victory against Celtic at Thorpe Arch. And raising the bar, there's a shot stoppers special at Lorimer's Bar. Good evening and welcome to Tuesdays We Are Leeds. I'm delighted to be joined in the studio, straight from Thorpe Arch, by James Varley, our LUTV reporter. Good evening.
Good evening, Ben.
Wet and windy, you've been battered from pillar to post again.
Absolutely horrible, and I am sick of coming back to Ellen Road and telling you how cold and freezing and windy and rainy it's been up at Thorpe Arch.
To be honest, we're a little bit sick of hearing you complain, but more from James in a moment when he brings us details of the behind-closed-doors game between Celtic and Leeds United. But first up, in the last 7 days, the most talked-about man in Leeds has been Johnny Howson, and today he's completed his move from Leeds to Norwich City on a 3.5-year deal. Now, before departing for Norfolk, he sat down with Tom Curwen to talk about the move and said it was the toughest decision of his life.
Well, Johnny, this is an interview I didn't think I'd be doing. Leaving Leeds United. Just talk us through sort of the last week then, and the decision that you've had to make. How big a decision has this been for you, Johnny, in your career so far?
Well, not just in my career. Decision-wise, probably the hardest decision I've had to make in my life. There's so many different ways that I've had to look at it, so many different things I've had to think about. The past week, found out, I think it was Tuesday morning, when I spoke to the gaffer about the bid, and there'd been a bid accepted. It's been a busier week, even probably without that going on, because my mum and dad's on holiday, and my dad's got a couple of horses, a few farm animals like goats, donkeys, chickens. So me and Jodie Scarlett have been house sitting for him, and at the same time I've been having to look after animals. So whilst I've been making this decision, I've been mucking out horses at the same time. So it's been a mad week. And it's decision-wise, it's been so tough, and even right up and last couple of days of actually before I signed, it's been very tough.
Obviously, because Leeds United have played such a huge part in your entire life, Johnny, and but to make that decision, is that draw of playing in the Premier League just so strong for you right now? You feel this is the right time? Yeah,
well, that's probably the only reason, in a way. Obviously, I'm going to a very good club, good support, but at the same time I know I'm leaving the club that I've loved from such a young boy. That's not going to change, but as you say, the hardest decision is the actual leaving bit. I've been involved with the club since 6-7 years of age, so it is hard. As you say, it's been a massive part of my life, and it's just the reality of actually leaving that's been the toughest thing. But on the other hand, as I said, it's a great chance for me, something that don't come around that often, and I felt as if I just had to take it whilst the chance was there.
Would you ideally have wanted to make this decision in the summer? Is it caught you a little bit by surprise? The club accepting a deal. Obviously, your contract was up, so the club feel they had no choice. But is it a decision that you'd, if Leeds had go up this year, you'd probably have stayed? Would that have been in your thinking?
Yeah, that was always my plan. To see how this season went. There's been no secret of that's been my ambition to play in the Premiership, and that's probably why we never got around to sorting a contract, because we don't know where Leeds United's going to be, and I wanted to give myself of playing in the Premiership. But as I said, I can understand why the club's done it. It's not. It's better to get something than nothing at all come end of the season, so I can understand from their point of view. But going to a great club, who's flying high, doing ever so well. Got a great team who You know, let's be honest, we've been close to the past couple of seasons, you know, in League One and the Championship, and a great manager. So it's nice that I'm going to another great club.
I guess you can understand some of the reaction though to you going from the Leeds fans. I mean, you're a fan yourself. I mean, what would you make to, you know, the club selling their captain, you know, homegrown talent? I think, you know, the reaction has been quite strong, Johnny, because it's not just losing you as a player, and you've been a very important player for Leeds, but it's what it symbolises as well, you know. And I think all the fans probably thought you were going to be here, you know, forever as well.
Yeah, you can understand, you know, the fans get frustrated, you know, and it makes it a little harder for me in a way when I see a reaction like that, because not that you doubt it sometimes, but it just makes you realise that you did mean something to them. You know, it makes you realise, as they say, you don't realise what you've got until it's gone. And it feels a little bit like that. But yeah, when you see that kind of reaction, it is nice, but it makes it a bit harder. But as I say, I can understand why they've done it. Yeah, okay, I was the club captain and, you know, from the area, but you know, it was me that was still wanting to play in the Premiership, and from a club point of view, I'd have arguably done the same thing if I was in their shoes. You know, it's a case of getting something a few months before or nothing at all. And if you look at it that way, rather than you know, no, I'm grown lads, the captain, you understand it a little bit more, I think.
Johnny Howson speaking to Tom Curwen on his departure from Leeds United, and we'll have more from Johnny later in the week on his biggest moments and best memories from representing the Whites, including the FA Cup game against Manchester United and promotion from League One and that final day drama against Bristol Rovers. It's been